Welcome to all. SV Union High School and Junior College, Pune, Economics, Standard 12th, presented by Dr. Inderjeet Kaur Ahluwalia. Chapter 3A, Demand Analysis, Video 2. Determinants of demand. Determinants of demand mean factors affecting or influencing demand. The demand for goods is determined by the following factors. First, price. Second, income. Third, prices of substitute goods. Fourth, price of complementary goods. Fifth, nature of product. Sixth, size of population. 7. Expectations about future prices. 8. Advertisement. 9. Tastes, habits and fashions. 10. Level of taxation. And 11. Other factors. Let us analyze and understand each one of the determinants. First, price. Price determines the demand for a commodity to a large extent. Consumers prefer to purchase a product in large quantities when price of a product is less, and they purchase a product in small quantities when price of a product is high. Second, income. Income of a consumer decides purchasing power, which in turn influences the demand for the product. A rise in income will lead to a rise in demand for the commodity, and a fall in income will lead to a fall in demand for the commodity. 3. Prices of substitute goods. If a substitute good is available at a lower price, then people will demand cheaper substitute good than costly good. For example, if the price of sugar rises, then demand for jaggery will rise. This is a pictorial representation of jaggery and sugar. If the price of sugar rises, then demand for jaggery will rise. Fourth, price of complementary goods. Change in the price of one commodity would also affect the demand for other commodity. For example, car and fuel. If the price of fuel rises, then demand for cars will fall. This is a pictorial representation of car and fuel. If the price of fuel rises, then demand for cars will fall. Fifth, nature of product. If a commodity is a necessity and its use is unavoidable, then its demand will continue to be the same irrespective of the corresponding price. For example, medicine to control blood pressure. 6. Size of population. Larger the size of population, greater will be the demand for a commodity, and smaller the size of population, smaller will be the demand for a commodity. This is a pictorial representation of market size or population changes. If there are a lot of people who need or want your product, then the demand will be high. 7. Expectations about future prices. If the consumer expects the price to fall in future, he will buy less in the present at the prevailing price. Similarly, if he expects the price to rise in future, he will buy more in the present at the prevailing price. 8. Advertisement. Advertisement, sales promotion scheme and effective salesmanship tend to change the preferences of the consumers and lead to demand for many products. For example, cosmetics, toothbrush, etc. This is a pictorial representation of advertising. For example, toothbrush and cosmetics, leading to increase in demand. 9. Tastes, habits and fashions. Taste and habits of a consumer influence the demand for a commodity. If a consumer likes to eat chocolates or consume tea, he will demand more of them. Similarly, when a new fashion hits the market, the consumer demands that particular type of commodity. If a commodity goes out of fashion, then suddenly the demand for that product tends to fall. This is a pictorial representation of tastes of a consumer of chocolates, etc. and new fashions in the market. Example, a particular type of jeans. This will lead to a rise in demand. 10th, level of taxation. High rates of taxes on goods or services would increase the price of the goods or services. This, in turn, would result in a decrease in demand for goods or services and vice versa. This is a pictorial representation showing rise in taxes like GST, which leads to a rise in price of goods and services, thus fall in demand. 11th, other factors like climatic conditions, changes in technology, government policy customs and traditions, etc., also act as an important determinant of demand. This is a pictorial representation of various factors affecting demand, like price of product, price of substitute goods, price of complementary goods, consumers' income, taste and fashion, and advertising. Let us now view an interesting video on the determinants of demand.
Let's imagine we're all consumers. What makes us want to buy more apples or fewer apples? Prices. At $2, we'll say, nah, it's too expensive. Let's just get one. But if price drops to $1, we'll say, cool, let's get 3 apples now. Tastes and preferences. Hey, I saw an advert today. Apples are good for health. All of a sudden, I want to buy more apples. When tastes shift towards apples, demand for apples increases. Price of complements. We say goods are complements of each other when they are normally bought together. For example, printer and ink cartridges, or bread and jam. If bread gets cheaper, what happens to our demand for jam? Well, bread gets cheaper, we buy more bread, so we'll buy more jam. Price of substitutes. Substitutes are goods that are bought for the same purpose. For instance, Pepsi and Coke are substitutes. When price of Pepsi drops, we'll start to think, hey, let's buy fewer cans of Coke and switch to Pepsi. They're the same thing anyway. So when price of Pepsi drops, demand for Coke decreases. Income. You know, we all have this lust for material stuff, and we think that when we make more money, we are going to buy more of this and this and that. These goods are called normal goods. When our income increases, we want to get more normal goods, like cars. There's another category of goods called inferior goods. For example, food from roadside stalls. Perhaps your income increases, think, this food is inferior. You have more money, you want to eat in a restaurant now. When our income increases, we demand fewer inferior goods. Expectation of prices.
There's a drought going on in Thailand. Shortage of rice in the near future is expected.
Crap! No rice? Man, I think the price of rice is going to increase. Better go buy and stock up some rice now. So if you think future prices of rice will increase, our demand for rice today increases. Population. When the number of people on an island increases, the demand for houses increases. When population increases, demand for something will increase. So this is the summary. But hey, there are so many factors affecting demand.
Thank you.